I can't go live on YouTube. You can't go live on YouTube without requesting to go live on YouTube before. That's wild. I mean, I never knew that. Anyway, this is We'll Fix It and Post Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Joe Sonnenblick. Merry Christmas Eve, whatever you celebrate. Merry that. We're all happy that you're here, not with me because it's not live. It just can't go live. So I'm going to do a short review of A Christmas Carol, the original A Christmas Carol from 1938. Um, Starring Reginald Owen, directed by Edward Marin. You don't need to know those names. You need to know Reginald Owen because he's great. But Edward Marin really didn't do a lot. British television director for the most part. And we all know what A Christmas Carol is. I'm not going to go through the synopsis of A Christmas Carol. If you don't know what A Christmas Carol is, I don't know what to do for you personally. But Reginald Owen is Scrooge. Jean Lockhart is Bob Cratchit. Kathleen Lockhart is Mrs. Cratchit, his actual wife in real life. And one of his daughters plays one of the daughters. That's unbelievable. Terry Kilburn is the great Tiny Tim. Leo Carroll is Marley's ghost. Lionel Bram is Christmas present. Anne Rutherford is Christmas past. And Darcy Corrigan is Christmas future. All right, little trivia. This was the only film in which Jean Lockhart appeared with Kathleen Lockhart and their daughter, June Lockhart. Okay. Scrooge is an archaic verb meaning to squeeze. So if you Scrooge out the spoff, you know what that's about. Carl Barks' Uncle Scrooge McDuck was definitely based on Scrooge. All the trivia for this movie stunk. Those are the three best ones, and those aren't even that good, to be quite honest with you. All right, abridged film review here. It's the ultimate morality tale. A miserly man hates Christmas. All to do with Christmas is brought back by his misgivings and visits from ghosts through what I think he's drunk. He sips some cough syrup and takes port from Cratchit. He's loaded. So it's a fever dream, essentially. This is also such an easy watch. Super relatable in many ways. If you work a job that forces you to be anywhere but home on Christmas Eve, keeps you for long hours, and makes you feel a certain way, then you relate to this film. If you have a piece of shit boss, which you do, you do, you might smile to their face and you go, great thing you said. You hate them. You hate them and you wish ill upon them, as you should. That's America. That's life. That's not even America. That's everywhere. Also, before we really get into the film, I couldn't be bothered to dress up in a holiday getup. I'm dressed like a loser, you see. I'm a New York Jets fan, so I'm dressed like a loser. So, again, Merry Christmas to everybody except Bob Saleh, the coach of the New York Jets, Joe Douglas, the GM of the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, I don't even know what he is, and Woody Johnson of the Johnson and Johnson Johnsons. I hope he fucking, I hate the Jets. I hate what they've done to me. Okay. Port, the fifth essence of Christmas spirit. That's a firecracker line from the actual novel. I've only read two Dickens novels, Tale of Two Cities and A Christmas Carol, which is a short. But I don't really like Charles Dickens from what I've read. I don't care. It doesn't bother. It doesn't get it going, I'm not a fan. Humbug comes out a lot in this film. Reginald Owen is Scrooge. He will always be Scrooge. Alistair Sims, he comes very close. But Patrick Stewart, George C. Scott, Jim Carrey, you can keep all those bums. You can keep them all. This is Scrooge, man. Reginald Owen, right here. Is Scrooge a closeted homosexual? That's something I've also thought about many times watching this film. He really hates marriage. He really hates the idea of being married to a woman. There's a lot with Scrooge that you go, well, this guy could be a closeted homosexual. And just let it out, Scrooge. You'd be happier. Just let it out. What's your problem? Get going. Scrooge yelling, good afternoon, louder and louder to his nephew complimenting him. Very funny, very good. It also feels like a pro-communist film. Pro-communist novel as well. Yeah, that's a short story. There's morality to it, but it's stringently anti-capitalist in nature, just beyond the pale of anti-capitalism. Uh, close up. Don't go into overtime. You might make something of yourself, which is work, 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 work to get ahead. Die young, you know. Bob Cratchit hits Scrooge in the head with a snowball, gets fired. Even though he's fired, he wants to make his family a great meal. Goes to get a goose, chestnuts, fruit, and all that. And then Scrooge immediately starts seeing visions. Marley's face in the door knocker. Um, I have to say, Scrooge and the direction of this film, very much like Nosferatu. A lot of shadows on the wall, a lot of drawbacks, the way Scrooge walks, a lot of that. Um, Ghost of Christmas Past comes around. She's a bad little piece. Bad little piece. Flying over the town sequence, particularly good for 1938. I also don't like Scrooge narrating everything that's happening. Saying, "Oh, this is where I was. That's where I was." Just I can figure it out. I'm a smart boy. I can figure it out. Fucking Scrooge, you know? Um, Scrooge didn't want to be left at school over the holidays, so he's crying like a fucking bitch. And then he's out here remembering crying like a little fucking bitch. Scrooge, you little fucking bitch. Fezziwig, great name, apprenticed him. That's what I gotta say about Dickens. Dickens wrote great names. There are a lot of great names in Dickens. In A Tale of Two Cities, there's a couple of great names. And then just characters that I've researched. There are a lot of great, funny, festive British names. And Dickens died rather young. I think he was like 58 when he passed away. Um, my time grows short. I've yet to show you the black years of your life, your gradual enslavement to greed. More anti-capitalist, more pro-communist. Um, his Horn of Plenty. Now we're the Ghost of Christmas Present. Horn of Plenty is stopping fights left and right on the streets of London. Man, these motherfuckers, tillywags, pallywags, they're all going at it. They're having a chin wag, spoff, boff, beating each other up, stab, stab, stab. Particularly moving is how lucky Bob Cratchit feels even after being sacked while watching Tiny Tim sing in church. This movie had a lot of religious slobbery too. You can, if you throw the religious slobbery out, it is just a good family Christmas film. Uh, the family knows Bob's lying. He's been sacked. I skipped over a lot, but Scrooge learns that Tiny Tim will die young, which is happens in the short story as well, and that's the ultimate change for Scrooge. That lets him become a more normal person. And these motherfuckers at the table are staring at that goose like it's the last bag of cocaine at Glasslands Gallery in 2007, and they're more excited for the pudding than I was. The last bag of cocaine in 2007 at Glasslands Gallery. If you were there in 2007 at Glasslands Gallery, there was a lot of cocaine and a lot of good experimental music happening. Scrooge's nephew makes fun of him. Blind man's bluff just looks like an excuse to touch some ass. That's really what it looks like. Scrooge loves Christmas now. He loves it based on all he's seen. Ghost of Christmas Future feels like death, the cloak of death. Tim's dead now, and Scrooge has to bear that, which also changed him. Scrooge sees his death and that no one cares, so that really gets him going. Scrooge does his best now, spreads cheer, gives Cratchit his job back, gives him a raise, brings food for the Cratchits on Christmas Day. It makes his nephew partner, gives the blessing that he can get married. He was against it, now he gives it because of cheer. To all of us everywhere, Merry Christmas, dears. God bless us, everyone, is Tiny Tim's famous line. Minus the religious sappery, it's a damn good morality tale and an excellent Christmas film. Well acted, well directed. 70 minutes. How much more do you need? 70 minutes. You don't need much more than that. Perfect length. I'm giving it a 4.13 out of 5. It is my favorite Christmas film of all time. There's nothing that really comes close to it. I guess you could say, well, no, 29th Street's my favorite Christmas film of all time. This is a very close second. which we reviewed 29th Street. There'll be links. There'll be all that. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy whatever you celebrate. Enjoy Hanukkah. Let's go out. Let's have a good time. Let's get drunk. Let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you wake up tomorrow hungover and stinking. This takes too long. You want it to be like a thing, and it just takes too long.